welcome back to the True North Life Homestead. My name is Jillian. If you are new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Today we are talking about what kind of KitchenAids are the best option for processing really quickly. I freaking love my KitchenAid. She is red, she is mean, and I call her Scarlet because frankly, my chef, I don't give a dang. And I love that about her. She gets everything done, and when we have things coming out of our garden like crazy, it is awesome to have backup in the kitchen. When it's not another person that's there that you might bump into, or somebody that wants to help but doesn't really, she just knows the deal and she gets it done, and I love that about her. But she cannot do it on her own. Mixing and spinning and all that kind of fun stuff that she does, like her kneading with our kneading hook that we use, all that kind of stuff that she comes with is awesome when you're making breads. But when you've got a lot of apples to process from the garden and all that kind of stuff, it's not the greatest. So she needs a little help. That's where the attachments come in. These are the three attachments that I have right now, and I absolutely love them. This is our peeler core and cutter attachment. I got this because I had one of those kind of apple peelers. And when you're trying to do like 400 apples at a time, like sitting there, and then having to use your core, and then having to slice them, and then boil them, or do whatever you're going to do with them afterwards, is a pain in the butt. This thing goes through an apple in like 10 seconds. It is the most satisfying thing to watch. I will put up a video here of it going on. Right? It's so good. So the first time that you use this thing, it takes all the worry out of a lot of the processing, which is great. I also have a really bad back, so having an attachment that takes away a lot of that chopping and a lot of that more neat work where you're working really close to your hands can really hurt my shoulder. So having an attachment that does all that kind of stuff for you is a huge deal for me personally, and for being able to get things done really quickly. So I can go through a couple bushels of apples in like an hour. It's unreal, so good. I love this thing. I love to make apple butter, and this is the main thing that I use for that. Awesome. One thing I also wanted to mention too with all of my attachments is that if I can get them in all metal, I will, because metal will last longer than plastic. So the next one I'm going to talk about is our shredder. I use this thing almost every single day because I have a super intense cheese addiction. The one thing I don't like about this is that the top of it is actually plastic. So this one, you might be able to find ones that are a little bit more durable than the one that's actually for the KitchenAid, so don't be afraid to go a little bit off brand, but this guy does an amazing job. So this one, I'm actually really shocked that it's in the box. I'll show you what it looks like inside. I should have showed you the other one too. I can do that in a second. Bam! That's what it looks like on the inside. You have the three options, so one of them is in here. You can see how it is plastic, so it's totally dirty right now, and I had to change that. This thing, so it's plastic. This one's the only one that's broken on me so far, but I do use it pretty much every single day. So I mainly use it for shredding cheese, shredding carrots, like shredding cabbage and all that for making salads. When we do rice wraps, we have a lot of shredded vegetables in there as well, so this bad boy comes out for that one. We've got the medium shredder, and we have a couple other options. You can do slices, and you can do smaller shredding, so you're doing like Parmesan cheese or something a little bit finer. That's how that comes into play. So you have lots of options and variety. I also like that with the KitchenAid appliances that they give you options. So like with this guy, you get your peelers, cores, and spiralers. It looks a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, but don't freak out, okay? Bam. It looks like a surgeon's kit. It's ridiculous. This, it's all metal, love it. All the attachments go on the line. And you've got your peelers, cores, spiralers, whatever thickness you want, and it works awesome together. So you can have a bunch of them on at the same time, but you can also use only one at a time. So let's say you just wanted to make zucchini noodles. That's an option. You wanted to shred a longer piece of carrot. Totally an option. Don't even worry about it. That's where this guy comes in, and they're super duper awesome. I also didn't mention, but I have a 6-quart KitchenAid. I've got the big one because, yeah, I got a lot to do, so I went with the big one, but you can go smaller, and all these attachments work with them just as well. The 6-quart one does have a little bit more power behind it because if you're kneading dough and stuff like that, you do need a little bit of extra oomph. You do have to be a little bit careful on how far you're going to push it. Me personally, I prefer to get the biggest possible equipment that I can. That way I'm not limited by what the equipment can do. I'm only limited by what I can accomplish or what I want to accomplish in a certain amount of time. My other one, I don't have the box for anymore, but it's freaking cold. This, woo, that's kind of fun, is our ice cream maker. And I've made some super cool projects with this. You don't just have to make ice cream if you're lactose intolerant. You can also do yogurts and sherbets and like Italian ice and all those really awesome frozen desserts. Absolutely delicious. I've made a caramel peanut butter chocolate swirl vanilla ice cream in here. I've also made peach ice cream, cherry ice cream. I want to experiment more with like the frozen yogurts and stuff like that coming up in the next year. This guy I love. The reason why he isn't in his box too is that this thing is frozen. It has to stay frozen basically until you're ready to use it because you don't want any ice cream going into it and it not being cold, you know? How I typically store my Kitchenaid appliances is I just keep them inside the bowl when I'm not using it. That way they're all together. This, again, it's plastic, but you're working with a smooth, creamy texture. So it's not a huge deal with this guy. It took me a little bit of time to figure it out that it locks in. It's a pressure fit on the top, so don't worry if you don't get it right away. It takes a hot minute. But it works really, really well. Highly recommend that, and it's super awesome to be able to go out into the garden, pick a bunch of strawberries, come inside, and make an ice cream. It's really delicious. You should try it. But when you get your Kitchenaid too, you come with a couple extra attachments. So that's your kneading hook. You have your whisk, and you have paddles. This I've also used for shredding chicken, and it works really, really well. I would recommend though, something that I probably will get for it is getting the paddle on the outside. So it's like a spatula that scrapes the side of the bowl. Because every once in a while I do have to stick a spatula in the bowl to scrape it. So if you are looking for holiday gift ideas or the Kitchenaid user in your life, I would recommend getting that spatula scraper because it makes a huge difference when you're baking. And of course the guard, because I'm messy. This is probably the cleanest my kitchen has been in a week because we've been making Christmas cookies. So it's been pretty crazy in here. Cookies are amazing. That is the basic 3 Kitchenaid appliances that I make, and a little bit of a rundown on what you get if you are going to buy a Kitchenaid. This, I'm just going to sit back. Now, I mentioned earlier that you don't have to stay with the Kitchenaid brand in order to make these appliances work. Something that we tried last year that we absolutely love, and I want to get back into it next year, is making sausages. So grinding our own meats, especially because we're going to have our own chickens and all that on the property. We want to be able to utilize that in every way we can, and breakfast sausages are a huge deal to me. Freaking love breakfast sausages, so good. But this guy is not a Kitchenaid brand appliance. It is a G-Vode, I'm going to call it a Vode, G-V-O-D-E, and it's designed for Kitchenaid mixers, so it's not a Kitchenaid appliance, but this is the only one that I could find that was, again, all metal. When I can find the one that's all metal, I will go with that one because I'm looking for a durable product. If I'm going to be feeding like 10,000 chickens through this machine over the course of its lifetime, I want it to be able to stand up, and metal is a lot easier to clean. When you're working with products like meat, you want as sterile as environment as possible, and metal will not scratch as deeply or as often as plastic will. So if you're using it with meat, I highly recommend that you go as metal as possible. Yeah! Just so you don't have to worry about any kind of contamination issues with your product at the end of it. So if you guys have either a Kitchenaid lover on your Christmas list, or if you have a birthday or something coming up or a celebration and you're looking for something to get them, if you want to stay, Kitchenaid appliances can be kind of expensive. So if you can go off-brand and get them a higher quality option, I would really recommend that. Or if you can stick to the more accessories that will add more value to the ones that they already have, highly recommend those as well. So like the scraper on the outside of the paddle, I think that's only like $15 or less. And all like accessories for making ice cream and all that extra stuff that can go with these appliances is huge when you have a homestead, or when you're just starting out on a homestead and you're not really sure what you need. Getting pointed in the right direction by gifts and friends and family that want to help out is a huge, huge bonus. So thank you to you guys out there that are doing that for somebody in your life. If you want to help support our channel and what we're doing here, I will leave a link in the description down below to our Amazon affiliates link, so you guys can go there anytime you're doing shopping. For the next 24 hours, we will get a commission at no extra cost to you when you make a purchase on Amazon. And thank you so much for using that link. It really does help support us and allow me to get things done in our homestead, like being able to buy products like these and share them with you guys and what we think of them. Okay, so if you guys love this video, I hope you give it a like, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys hang around, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.
We can pretend that we're just friends, yeah, but who are we kidding? We can pretend that we feel nothing, but if you're game, I am willing.